Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video, and we talk about a newly shown Hot Toys figure, and this time it is Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So this figure has been shown, for the last year. It looked like it wasn't going to come out, but now they are releasing it basically to coincide with Infinity War, because a lot of the character designs in Infinity War don't change from the previous films, such as Thor Ragnarok and then and Guardians of the Galaxy. They all really wear the same costumes that they did before, so it's a nice way for them to get to some of the older figures that they've been waiting to do, and get them out of the way, and then also instead of doing like a whole nother one for this movie, they basically just get to release the one from the previous film and it be accurate to this movie as well. So they've done this really with Gamora and with Loki as well. So yes, this is quite exciting for me personally. I did like this new design of Gamora. I like the first Gamora. I owned it up until this morning, to be honest, because that is a really nice figure, but it's got rubber arms, and I hate rubber arms. So even when Guardians of the Galaxy 2 came out, I wanted to sell my old one and buy the new one. I tried to sell it, and I couldn't sell it, and I was trying to sell it for for 220 or so. But since Infinity War came out, and since she has a bit of more character in that movie, she has gone up in price, and I was able to sell her for $300. So I did that. So basically, I'm going to get this figure, but I'm only getting it because I was able to sell the first one for a price that would allow me to buy this new one for basically without spending anything extra. But going over the actual figure here, it looks nice. Face sculpt wise, like from this angle it looks pretty good, but from some angles it doesn't look good. It almost doesn't even look as good as the first one from some angles, well, which is definitely disheartening, because when the first one came out there was a big deal about how good it was, but like from that angle it looks weird. It's got a weird look to it, which is definitely a shame. Like from that angle it looks good, but from like straight on it looks a little odd, which is definitely odd. I think that the face is a little too wide, which is why from the side it looks okay, but from the front it looks odd. Her costume that I really like, though, I like the jacket look. I think it's very cool. It's obviously the look that she has in both Guardians of the Galaxy 2 as well as Infinity War, so I definitely like it. And of course, because it's the jacket, her arms are covered, and therefore we do not get rubber arms, and therefore I am a happy camper, because I cannot stand rubber arms, simply because you really can't do anything with them, because they're so limited, and then they will of course deteriorate over time. So now I don't have to worry about that anymore, which is awesome. But I do like the red in her hair. Of course, that's something that the first one really doesn't have. What you get with her accessory wise, you get a decent amount with her. You get a regular base, you get a set of hands, you get a sword, a collapsed and long version of the sword, you get the gun that she uses at the very beginning when they're fighting that monster, and you get the jetpack that she uses only in that scene as well, and you also get a baby Groot with the detonator. A decent amount of stuff, nothing great though. Let's see. I mean, the hands, the base, and the swords are all very necessary. The rest of the stuff is kind of unnecessary. The jetpack and the gun is cool because, I mean, they're unique weapons, but she only uses them for one scene. It's not an important scene either, and it's from a movie that came out a year ago at this point, so it's a little like, eh. The baby Groot with the detonator is very cool, but some of the close-up images of it that they have, he doesn't look great, but I think it's just because of how small it is. I think that in person it's going to look fine. But as a whole, I think this figure looks pretty decent. What doesn't look decent though is the price tag. This is a $251 figure, which is insane. The first one was $200, so this has gone up $50. It's gone up 25% from the original one, which is a huge price hike, and it's definitely a shame. Now you do get a few more things with this one, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you get like the little jetpack piece, and then the gun, and then the baby Groot, so you get a couple extra accessories, of course, but that would make it maybe 215, 220. This is definitely way over that, simply because obviously as of the start of Infinity War, they're really jacking up the prices on their figures, which is definitely a shame. I don't know if this is Hot Toys or Sideshow, if it's kind of a mixture of both, but it's definitely noticeable because they're all very high, much higher than they usually are, so that's super disappointing. But again, like I said, I'm going to buy this simply because I, got my money back from the first one and then some, and therefore that'll kind of cover the price increase of this one. So it was important to me to get this one because I do want one without rubber arms. I'm hoping that I can do something similar with Rocket. I'd like to sell my old Rocket and then buy the Rocket and Groot 2-pack from Infinity War. That would be great. It's just I don't know if I can get a decent price for that Rocket figure, but we'll see. But I do like the option of being able to sell the older figures and buy the new ones. I did this for Star-Lord as well from this same series, and I'm glad I could do it with Gamora. And yeah, so it's a nice way to upgrade your figures, and always like have something fresh coming in. in without really spending any extra money, which is kind of nice. So I do like that. But again, I think this is way overpriced. I would recommend this for only people who need a Gamora in their collection. Now, going forward with the MCU, you do have to think hard if you need a Gamora in your collection, of course. But you know, I think that she's been a big character in 3 movies, so I think that's definitely something to say, and she's definitely worth having in my collection at least. So I am excited for this one, but I'm not like super stoked for it. I mainly just want a Gamora without rubber arms. It's not like this one really blew my mind or anything, but it is a solid figure, so it is worth having. So there you go. So that's my video review talking about the newly shown Hot Toys figure of Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.